Hi, this is a follow-up to a video that I made in the early morning after an experience in the middle of the night. I made another video, but it's choppy, and this is yet another update for how my day is going. I'm definitely noticing a difference in how I'm showing up for myself and also how I'm processing experience. The intensity of experience is high, but everything seems to be resonating. So my body seems to be like a receiver, and it resonates and vibrates with every interaction and experience. So, a couple of poignant moments. So, as I've basically just done a full work day, and I'm going to do a little bit more, but um, I see that hmm, I'm stepping into issues as they come up. So throughout the day, I've had meetings where I'm participating. I've had problems where, I need to give an update or resolve something. And I'm observing how I'm processing this um, because it's different today than it has been in the past. Everything is resonating in the body, and I'm allowing for that and holding space for that instead of contracting. I just noticed that the video slowed. I'm having issues. This might end up being choppy. I wonder how I can help this. I don't think it's a light thing. It might be connection or processing. I'm going to check connection on something on another device and see if I can. I'm going to see if I can add more bandwidth to this and take it away from other things. Hmm. That might help. Maybe. Throughout the day, I've been I've had the opportunity to notice how I'm processing pain, anxiety, confidence, just social interaction. and just general moment to moment experience. One poignant moment where it was an investigation, but um, something heavy fell on my toe. And I was reminded with the familiar experience of what happens in the body, this constriction of pain. And I remembered to lean into feeling it, which opening that channel and not constricting around the pain surged my body with, um, I could see why the mechanism is there to constrict in a moment of distress like this. Because I allowed the full body to feel this pain, it wasn't, I unpacked the interpretation of pain from it, but because that interpretation wasn't there and that constriction wasn't there, my whole body got hit with an effect where my heart rate went up and I got a little dizzy. And I felt like I understood the mechanism where your body constricts and gives you the message of pain, the interpretation of pain, so that, like, to protect you having a heart attack potentially, something like that. And I thought, wow, if my heart was not as healthy, this could be a problem. And I could understand that that mechanism needs to operate to concentrate the pain in the toe instead of allowing for it to be felt as a sensation in the body, because then the body just is registering threat of, like, we got hit, something got hit, everybody panic. So I felt that, um, and I had to hold myself because usually you just go ow and move on, and like, so that was an interesting investigation. And so I look forward to doing that more, because I think the more that I can engage, it's kind of like me talking to the mind and saying, hey, something falling on my toe is not a life threatening emergency. And we're going to feel this, but hopefully, leaning into this kind of experience over and over will train my body to not, for my heart to not get as elevated as easily. Because I could see a potential danger if I get older and my heart gets weaker, um, that I could have me a small heart attack over. Um, I mean, that's an exaggeration, but I don't know how this stuff, you know, depending on what my body is doing, because a lot of this stuff is um, messaging, like nervous system messaging. So I feel like the more that I can hold space for my nervous system to do what it does, and um, if this happens again, when this happens again, um, to allow for the sensation to be full, to show the body that it's not fatal and that it's okay to feel it and not constrict around it. Um, and hopefully kind of train the nervous system to not overreact and to release that energy in the form, the sensation when I when I remove the interpretation of pain, the sensation is like sharp tingling and heat. And that can be in the whole body because I'm allowing the whole body to resonate. So that was interesting. Anxiety, I did have a couple of moments of anxiety because a couple of problems came up at work where it was like, okay, this is something I need to alert and get people to do something because this will have downstream effects. Um, so I felt anxiety come in, and it was a similar allowance where um, it was not as much of a constriction and avoidance. It was, anxiety washed over my whole body and resonated and buzzed. And then it kind of landed in the stomach where I was learning this, I guess, a lot of, I hadn't had a direct um, kind of lesson on chakras and how how they relate. I kind of loosely knew stuff like this, but anyway, I one of the workshops that I was able to attend was uh, yoga combined with like a chakra activation and clearing. So um, she was explaining. So like the root chakra is, uh, amongst other things, safety and container. The second chakra, I forgot what it's called. Is like where you feel emotion and resin and creativity, and it's more fluid. And the third chakra is where you. So the way she put it made me kind of think about this. So it's like solar plexus, but it's like it's the fire, and it's where you kind of digest what's coming at you, and it's also the place from where you move out into the world. So it feels like that's the place you interact, like the direct interaction with the world. And I thought of something that I heard on, I think it's the Trauma Rewired podcast, either there or somewhere. I heard that, um, or maybe it was a very early Simply Always Awake interview. So stress and whatever else, whatever you're experiencing in the brain, there are gatekeepers to not let it all hit you. So there are places that will keep information from you so that you don't freak out. But in the gut stuff, there's a nervous system in the gut also, um, like a nervous center where there are either fewer or no gatekeepers. So things hit you in the gut, in the like stomach area directly. And so oftentimes like that can be why eating is one of the ways to deal with stress or something, because this place feels under threat and it's a body thing. And that's why your lower back and your hips can get all that can get scrunched up and held there, and people can have digestive issues if they have stress. It all hangs out here. So I thought of that thing of like why anxiety sinks to the belly. That's where it's digested. So anxiety today hit me in, I let it resonate in the whole body, and it landed in the belly, and I kind of allowed it to, um, there was more space, more spaciousness for it to land, resonate, and work through itself. And I paused and I actually gave it time, which in the past I may have moved on and been like, okay, okay, what do we do? What do we do? But just to give that feeling space and respect. Um, and I just have an intuition and a instinct today to allow things to hit, resonate, and give them time to process before moving on to the next action. So that's been nice. Just to repeat some of the things that I was expressing in the video that's basically unwatchable because it's choppy. I hope this one's not the same way. It might be. I feel generally more resonant today. I feel more moment to moment. I feel like an experience, and not as much as this center to protect or, from which experience is happening. Um, this is after radically accepting my vantage point, like the simplest of experiences, as the thing that's going on, because it is the thing that's going on from this vantage point. I'm not trying to connect it to this big, you know, the universe, or kind of not trying to tap into any God perspective, because this is the God perspective from this vantage point, of which there are billions and more. So just to humbly take that as my place in the universal perspective, universal experience. Um, so yeah, I'm respecting the moment to moment experience and allowing for it to resonate in the body. So my body feels like truly an instrument that's being played by energy that moves through it. Um, Something else I said before is my voice feels more resonant in my body. And there might be a spaciousness. Even singers with like vocal production, when you have, I in my like formal training stuff, um, there was that concept of like allowing your voice to resonate in your body. Um, and there were exercises to do that. So my voice just feels more resonant today. And so, in addition to my voice, it's every experience is actively resonating in my body. So that's been interesting to notice. And the other, well, it's familiar by name, but the other encounter is with um, being overwhelmed. So right now I have 3 things that I need to do before the end of the day, each of which is a potential research project. Um, and I need to take at least one next step on each of them. So I recognize that because it is toward the end of the day. And I thought, okay, I'm going to resonate. That feeling of being a little overwhelmed is resonating in my body. And taking action felt, it wasn't this like, well, I should do this, but maybe it was much easier to say, you know what, let me make this video. I'm going to go for a walk or a bike ride. Let my body move some energy in it, and then come back and take them down in order. And I feel like I'll be able to better focus and I won't be as overwhelmed having moved some energy, both expressing this way and um, getting physical. It's been an interesting day. I'm looking forward to just getting better at this version of experience. it's definitely interesting to notice similar experiences, emotions, hopes, like me hoping that this video will work and me fearing that it might not. Those feelings only within this new context of generally everything being fine, because every emotion and every experience is just energy moving through this instrument. So there's nothing scary. There's nothing that I tighten up. There's nothing that I need to tighten up about. And if I do notice tightening up, like when that heavy thing first fell on my toe, I can immediately recognize it for what it is and unpack it and allow it to resonate so that it doesn't get stuck. Yeah, that's been the experience today. And just something else that I noted in that other unwatchable video. Um, I'm surprised that the what I called my little crash with reality in the middle of the night. I didn't think it would be significant because I didn't feel like an absence of self forever onward kind of thing. It was a crash and we're back online kind of thing. Um, but there, it is a shift. There is a shift here. And that is fun. And I hope to stay clear and keep getting more and more clear, because it's easy to, I can see, like I saw with those moments of pain today, both a small one and a big one, stubbing my toe and then dropping something on my toe. Um, it's easy to allow contraction to take over if I don't open that door to a full body resonance of experience. Same thing with anxiety. It's easy to clench down. And today I have that awareness and that instinct. And I hope that it continues to be an impulse that becomes truly second nature, where I don't, um, where the time lapse between contraction and opening to resonance is shorter and shorter, um, and done with as little, less and less thought involvement. So this is fun. This is what I've been literally praying for, and now it's here. And feelings are just reflecting on what I've heard um, Angelo with Simply Always Awake say. You don't get to escape feelings, you actually feel them more, but the scariness is not as much there. It's not scary, it's just felt and ideally welcomed, because everything is just music resonating in the instrument. Just like you don't dread Beethoven's Fifth booming, you just listen and feel it and say, ah, that was a feeling. Um, it's similar where, if you go to the symphony orchestra, um, you don't dread the sad pieces and look forward to the pleasant ones, or I guess some people do, but you experience the full concert as like, wow, that was a movement. They went from this to rounded it back and whatever it is. So that's how it's registered. And I hope to continue to be fearless in this way. Now let's see if this video works.